This is interesting to me, Greg, because we talk about those articles that come out. How much do I need to retire? And they always keep moving that number up. I mean, I've been doing these shows for 10 years now. And when we started, it was like $1 million. Everybody needed $1 million to retire. And then it started inching its way up until the latest articles say $1.8 million. That's a lot of money. So the people at Charles Schwab decided to go out and ask people, how much do you think you need to retire? And guess what the answer was? $1.8 million. They just heralded it right back to them. So there's not a lot of people out there. That would be the exception, as somebody who walks in the door with $1.8 million. I get angry at these particular articles because I think people will hang in there and they'll stay in a job that they hate, or they'll continue to save and say, I can't retire until I get to this number, whatever number that is. Have you had people that feel that way and then you show them with the math, you know what, you don't need that. You can retire. Why aren't you retired?
These guys are scumbags. Scumbags. Scaring people into this is the most... I mean, Randy, imagine me saying... This is like me going and saying everyone should wear a medium t-shirt. You're like, but medium t-shirt doesn't fit me. And right. Like, no, you don't understand. We've talked to 1,000 people. We've confirmed that everyone is now wearing medium t-shirts. It doesn't matter what you do for your life, how you look, how you feel, what you do, you're wearing a medium. So I'm walking around with the halter top with my belly hanging out, my belly button's exposed. I got, walking around like a fat guy in a little coat.
Not good look.
It's not a good look for me.
Nope.
It's not a good look for me. And 1.8 may not be a good look for you. And the reality is this is irresponsible reporting. This is fake news. I'm telling you right now, we deal with successful people. We deal with all kinds of folks. We've been meeting families for almost 15 years in Ohio. And, I think our average client last year had about $1 million of investables.
Okay.
Roughly. Some had 7, some had 500, some had 3 million. It averages out. But at the end of the day, Randy, I can tell you with almost certainty 95% didn't need all of it. And that's where this insincerity of scaring people, because here's what it's doing. You know who pays? We had that, clip earlier about the 401ks. You know who pays those commercials in Schwab to keep their money? Those big companies want those 401k fees.
Yeah.
So if they're scaring you to 1.8, there's a reason they're scaring you, because they want you to stay in there so they can keep getting their fees. Or the people that have your money in the stock market and say, you got to keep making your money work for you. You need 10% return so that we can finally get to that 1.8 number. And you're sitting there scratching yourself and you're saying, you know what? Scratching your head and saying, wait a second. I paid off my house. I paid off my cars. We only vacation a couple times a year. We only spend about, we have Social Security, we have pension. We only come out of our investments like $25,000 a year. Am I going to live to be 172? Because I can't make that math work, and nobody can. Nobody can make that math work, and that's the irony of this. So what we do is we do the math for you. For every person that comes in, not only do they get a roadmap that breaks down the 4 biggest risks and how we would address each of those, we build what we call an income tent. And this income tent is the easiest way for us to explain how you're not going to run out of money. We simply plug in what you paid last year for stuff, your expenses. Then we put in what you received last year, your income. Very simple, right, Randy? Then we put a little bit of hold for inflation. We put a little bit of hold for travel, some extra travel, and some expenses, roof, furnace, maybe unexpected health experience. And then we project it 25 years with a 5% return. And we sit there and say, here's what's left. And they're like, that says $1 million. I'm like, you better go spend some more money. That's right. They're all lying to you. They're all lying to you. No one runs out of money in retirement. You don't see people on the side of, the main freeways in Ohio with signs that saying the cost of bacon screwed me. And now I didn't make it because I didn't adhere to the 60-40 rule. It's all lies. And everyone keeps, jumping into the, the vortex of their bad misinformation of like, your money's got to work for you. You got to get 8% returns in the S&P. These things that they keep saying aren't even true. They don't even care, because you can easily go and say, what did the S&P return, since 2000 or 2020? And it would say 6%. And you can go out and get a 5% CD right now. So it's like one of those things where it's maddening that they're having people. I guess the thing that makes me so upset about this and why I get a little heated, they're betting with your life savings. You worked 30 years. You did, not them.